Ain't gonna let nobody alone. Turn me right, turn me right.
My mother was low-key, no-nonsense,
strong-willed,
very strong-willed, and kind of shy. But she,
like me.
Right, just the opposite of and she didn't give you a lot of compliments, but when she gave you one, she said, "Well, you look nice up there," and I said, "Oh, thank you, Mother," because and she had a lot of ambivalence about her involvement in the movement because she was afraid that, number one, something could happen to us, and also she always worried that the house would be burned down by the Klan.
But Mother started off teaching us, let me go back to how it all started. When we were very young, I remember her telling us to always look a white man in the eyes when you're talking to him.
And don't blink.
Never look down. And we were like 4 and 5 years old. And she grew up in an integrated community in Wayne County, Mississippi. And so
it really
to
shaped the way she
saw people,
and she never feared anyone. So she always told us
that we were as good as anybody.
Yeah, that was the mantra that passed through 5 generations of our family, maternal line of our family.
My first meeting of what we called at that time the Ladner sisters, they had gotten kicked out of Jackson State. And it was arranged, I understand, that the NAACP kind of helped arrange them getting into Tougaloo, so they came into Tougaloo. And they quite interesting. They were like twins, we thought. And when you saw one, you saw the other.
We met Mega Evers in high school when he came to Hattiesburg to set up an NAACP youth chapter. He came down, but Clyde Kennard and Vernon Damer were the 2 people behind, really. The whole Hattiesburg NAACP chapter did, but those 2 were the motivating factors behind our chapter.
And the pianist, Vernon Damer's sister, played the piano in our church.
Her name was Eileen Beard. And she was Mother's best friend.
Mother would let us go to NAACP meetings in Jackson with her and Mr. Damer. And since she was in the church, there was nothing
Mother
thought about
trusted her,
So, and our ears were wide open and taking it all in.
Yeah, Clyde Kennard, they drove up to Jackson and they took us with them. We were little girls who were interested in Negro rights, as we call them.
Clyde Kennard was our youth chapter advisor.
My name is Jesse Harris, and I participated in voter registration in the Mississippi Delta. It was during 1962. I was arrested in Jackson for contempt of court and fined $100 fine and 30 days in Hinds County Farm.
Dorie is like a sister to me. Like when we was down and, when we was out there working and cold and stuff like that, Dorie was like around me and the people that we work with. Dorie would like to calm us down. She was sort of like a mentor to us.
Well, Joyce was, really studious. They both were very, bright, but Joyce was studious. Made sure she did her schoolwork and all that. Whereas Dorie was more interested in, movement activities.
There was so many things going on the front line, meaning that Medgar Evers had been killed on June 12th. His funeral was June 16th. And Lawrence Guyot had been beaten. Miss Fannie Lou Hamer had been jailed and beaten very badly in Winona, Mississippi. And there was a bus boycott not bus boycott, but a boycott of all the stores in Jackson, Mississippi. And people were being arrested in Greenwood, Mississippi. We were under siege. So we knew that we had to return back to these homes. We had 3 guys on death row in Georgia. So coming together was good to address, bring our grievances to the seat of government, to let the president and everybody know. But we knew that we had to return back to those towns and what would be waiting for us. My sister Joyce worked in the March on Washington office, coordinating the transportation, working out the logistics, and I was working in the SNCC office, raising money for the organization's livelihood, and also recruiting people to participate in the same march. But the point was, I was always thinking about what was going on because I'm a frontline person, and always thinking about the strategy. And my sister was talking about the fun that we had, and I was thinking about the other side of it, and I wanted to say, and death shall have no dominion over what we were doing at the same time, because we didn't fear death as well as enjoying ourselves, partying and so forth. We were young and zealots. We were zealots.
I often say that, in fact, I coined the term the Emmett Till generation. I say that there was no more exciting time to have been born at the time and the place and to the parents that young movement people were born to. It was through an accident of history that we were that post-war generation in the South at the time, who had the parents who taught us stand up for yourself, that all of that thing, I mean, you're talking about synchronicity and serendipity, all those things fell into place for a small group of young people, and that was our generation.
I'm Beverly Wade Hogan, president at Tougaloo College. Tougaloo College is extremely proud and privileged to say congratulations to two amazing women, Joyce Ladner and Dorie Ladner. Women who are joined as biological sisters, women who are joined in the struggle for justice, and women who are also distinguished alumni of the historic Tougaloo College. We could not be more proud of their lives. They have lived lives of inspiration, lives of impact. Dorie and Joyce came to Tougaloo College as college students and joined the student activism that was already underway at Tougaloo College. They had already been inspired in their home community, exposed to the injustices in Mississippi, and understood that they were to live their lives in such a way that they would have impact on the change that was needed. Tougaloo College embraced this and encouraged them. And leaving Tougaloo College, they have continued lives as champions of justice. Dorie Ladner spent time with the SNCC and as a freedom rider, making an impact in community organizing and becoming a well-known and respected social worker who provided social services to an array of humans in need of a multitude of services. Joyce Ladner continued getting her PhD in sociology, becoming a noted sociologist and an author and an administrator and a thought leader on among some of the leading institutions in this nation, understanding how policy affect all people and how they are implemented and the implications of such. They have continued to live lives of inspiration, creating narratives for all of us to see how one person can have an impact and create change. Their lives have continued in this vein to this day. And we thank you, Joyce, and we thank you, Dorie, for living lives of meaning, living lives of impact, and making a difference in such a way that we can all enjoy a better world. Thank you, Mississippi Power, for recognizing these two amazing women.
Get on.